Hello there, today I'm doing a review of Mini Lego Transformers Animated Wasp. Yeah, you've already seen this build basically. It's the animated Bumblebee build, so I'm not going to take a lot of time on this. You already know how his transformation goes and everything. The only real difference is the colors and his head. So yeah. Here's Wasp with the rest of my animated builds. And here he is next to all this other stuff. And as you might already know, he is 5.5 studs long, and he is 3.5 studs tall. Alright, time for transformation. You already know how this goes. But the connections for his arms are actually a bit looser on this build because for some reason, as you can see, it just falls off. It doesn't really have any clutch power. For some reason, the green version of this piece has less clutch power than the yellow one. So yeah, I have no idea why, but that's just how it is. So flip the roof of the car up and then to the sides. Fold the roof of the hood of the car up. Fold the wheels onto the back of his heels. Spread out his feet. Put the arms down. And yeah, that is already Wasp in his robot mode. Didn't have enough pieces to fill these out with like square studs. So I guess these black rounded studs, I guess you could say they represent the wheels that are supposed to be on his arms. That just makes I guess that just makes it seem less ugly. And yeah, you know, the feature where I didn't know what to do with the windshields on his hands, so now it's a Stinger. And Wasp, since he has no changes to his build, importantly at least, he could still do the Stinger action like Bumblebee. And it's the same articulation as Bumblebee too, so I'm not going to show that off. And it's still just accessories technically, so they still come off. And here is Wasp without those. Me personally, I think this build fits a Bumblebee better than Wasp. And Wasp's head is pretty hard to, I guess, recreate in Lego form at this small scale, so I just used a rotated square green stud. I guess the corner represents his little like jaw mouthpiece, and the stud on the top represents I guess the little details on his forehead that represents what would be his antenna when he becomes Waspinator. I think it does a good enough job. It's at least somewhat different from Bulkhead's head in the way it's oriented, but yeah, but technically it's the same head. I would have also built his Cybertronian form, but honestly that would have just been this build without the black stripe. So that's why when I build Cliffjumper, it's also just going to be his Earth mode. Actually, I might just build it with all red and without the stripe to kind of symbolize what the Cybertronian mode would look like. So yeah. He's 5.5 studs tall. Here's Wasp next to this stuff. And here's Wasp next to the rest of my animated builds. And I will see you guys next time with a more interesting character, Ironhide.